Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scrap Empire. And today we're going to be talking about a big event in the middleweight division this upcoming Saturday for UFC Fight Night. Kelvin Gastelum versus Jared Cannonier. Now, Kelvin Gastelum is a very respected middleweight. He's had plenty of fights against top guys such as Uriah Hall, and he won the Ultimate Fighter. Just a guy with plenty of experience. Then you also have Jared Cannonier, very notable fighter in his division. Strong, athletic, and very elusive. So, again, I'm all about taking the time to dissect, see all the little details that are required to obtain all of the little details while I'm observing and watching the fight. Now, Jared Cannonier, he had a very, very interesting fight against Glover Teixeira. Right, for my UFC Fight Pass subscribers, whenever you get a chance, please search up Jared Cannonier versus Glover Teixeira. Very, very interesting fight. Now, throughout all of the rounds, right, there were times where Jared Cannonier was standing up and going toe to toe with Glover, but throughout all of the rounds, he took down Jared. He had him in a full mount position. Just really took control of the ground position, and was, from a aesthetic point of view, he looked like he was just not necessarily dominating him, because I wouldn't want to disrespect Jared like that, because he wasn't dominated, but it just looked like he didn't have too much control while he was on the ground. And that's something that catches my eye. You see, when you're fighting certain opponents, you need to be able to adjust, and you need to be able to adapt, right? And I understand that Jared is a strong guy. He can punch. But again, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like Glover was able to just take him down with strength, because there's plenty of times throughout the fight where you see the technique being implemented in the full mount, in the half guard, in the full guard, in those ground positions. But you have to really see and dissect closely the technique, the technique Glover Teixeira was showing us. But at the same time, right, it just seems like Jared, he's not a one-dimensional fighter, but when somebody has a technique to take him down, there could be some. He can show us that he isn't the best fighter when it comes to wrestling and grappling. And his takedown defense needs to develop, needs to get better. Now, Kelvin Gastelum, yes, he's being Uriah. Yes, he's being plenty of fighters in the middleweight division. Very, 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 very interesting guy. And there's an interesting fight with him and Johnny Hendricks. Now, Kelvin Gastelum, in terms of just striking, in terms of just his ability to just feel comfortable while he's in the ring, I can just tell from an aesthetic standpoint, he looks very, very, very comfortable. You know, just he looks very relaxed. He looks very poised, and just very in tune with what's going on. From the first, even from the first round, landing strikes, making sure that he, there's a certain amount of accuracy to his punches. When he's on the cage, he's throwing his elbows, he's throwing his strikes. He also can throw a little bit of combinations as well. And, he so his physique, it's a body. It isn't a dad bod, but he isn't ripped. He just has a regular physique for a man who's competing at mixed martial arts. Who's competing in mixed martial arts at the highest level throughout the entire world. So, what do you have to say when Kelvin is just able? He moves efficiently. He's an effective striker, not a puncher, but a striker. I mean, you have effective punchers such as Chuck Liddell, and even him. You can't necessarily call him an effective puncher because yes, he's known for knocking guys out with his stiff style, but he can wrestle as well. Maybe you could put somebody by the name of Jorge Masvidal on that because, he grew up bare knuckle boxing against guys twice his size. But Kelvin, just very, very he has all of the packages. He has everything to not so much to not call himself a complete fighter, but he's a well-rounded fighter. And of course, transition to the second round. Plus, before I get into him transition to the second round, my UFC fight fans, we have to remember about Johnny Hendricks. Because yes, Johnny Hendricks didn't win the fight, but throughout the second round, he was landing strikes as well. And we all know that Johnny Hendricks can not only knock you out, he's known, his reputation in UFC is just knocking people out, strong guy, but it didn't faze Kelvin Gastelum. He just looked at it, he was able to adjust and just figure it out. So, and of course, transitioning to the third round, Gastelum regaining complete control of the fight, just be able, manipulating the tempo, staying focused, landing those crisp strikes, especially those leg kicks too. Those leg kicks really had a big impact on Johnny Hendricks as well, right? So I understand that Jared Cannonier is strong, but he reminds me of somebody like I would have to say Deontay Wilder, because again, look, Deontay is such a great talent, and Jared Cannonier has all the physical attributes to call himself a generational talent. Look at his physique from a aesthetic standpoint. He looks really, really, really strong. Guy looks freaking incredible with his physique. But again, when it comes to competing, when you're competing in mixed martial arts at the highest level throughout the entire world, because there's only one lightweight champion, there's only one middleweight champion, there's only one heavyweight champion. UFC is its own sanctioning body. UFC is its own governing and sanctioned body, represented all across the entire world, right? So, what do you have to say on You know, what what do you have to say when you're literally competing for the highest spot in your weight division throughout the entire world, right? Kelvin Gastelum, he's tactical and he's strong, and that's what I'm saying. Like Jared Cannonier, you could put him as a generational talent just off his physique, but do you have the skills to adjust and adapt against styles? Because just like the first couple of UFCs, you had All-America wrestlers who were 5'6" to 5'7", facing boxers who were 6'2", 6'3", weighed over 250 pounds. You had Royce Gracie even fighting Ken Shamrock. Look at the first UFC. Look at how fat. Look at how little Royce Gracie was compared to his opponents. Look how little Royce Gracie was, and he was still able to dominate, still able to flourish, still able to rise and become one of the greatest fighters to ever to ever step in the octagon, to become one of the greatest fighters to ever fight in a mixed martial arts world, is what I rather say. Is what I like to say. Excuse me. So we all have to remember. Yes, the aesthetics sound great. You look good. The way how your body moves looks amazing, but there's going to come a certain time you need to adjust and adapt to certain styles. And I just don't see Jared Cannonier winning this upcoming fight against Kelvin. I think he's a strong guy, and I think he's very aggressive when he has the moment, when he has his moments to show you his aggression. But I just think that Kelvin Gastelum is too tactical. He's too elusive, too slick, and just too poised. Because when you're a poised puncher, you're going to contribute a lot of damage towards your opponent. I see him just landing a lot of leg strikes, a lot of headshots. And by the way, poised fighters, those ones you need to really, really dissect and really be aware of, because you have a boxer by the name of Junior Jones, right? But his nickname is Poison. Those poised punches that are compact. Those poised punches that are compact. Those poised. Everything has to be sharp and compact. When you show people that you're compact with your punches, right? You're going to contribute a lot of damage to your opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scrap Empire. Like, comment, subscribe to my content. Thank you all for watching my channel, and it will be an honor to post more videos to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Bye-bye.